King Hauler 6x6 build video number 2. I've got the frame rails drilled. I was going to try to do it on film. It just didn't work out. So we're going to skip to page 4 of the manual, which is starts with the servos. You got to mount the servo arms to the servos and then mount them to the servo mounts. There will be a little bit of modifying done to this crossmember and assemble the frame. So let's get this started. Hopefully I don't make this too boring for you guys. I've done this once, so we'll want... Oh, I just made a mess now. We'll want servo facing just like it is in the picture. So make sure to get everything all lined up right. We'll need this piece, which is E5. Put it on there so that the notch is facing the label, or the little tab up here. I don't know how well you can see that. There's a little tab. It needs to be facing the label. Get that all the way down on there. You can take the little ring with the split in it. It takes a little effort to get it on there. Just like that. And you take the upper part, which has a small hex on the back for attaching the steering arm to. Put that on there. Put that little washer in there. I'll have to grab a screw. I forgot to grab the screws for the servos. Second servo. This servo is for the steering. This servo will be for the shifting. Here, let's zoom in a little bit and see if we can get you a little closer. There we go. This servo will be for shifting the transmission. So on this one, you'll want the servo facing the same way with the little tab pointing up. Like that. The little tab's over here. It's pointing that way. Get that on there. Yeah, that's right. That on there, and then the split washer looking thing. It's pretty thick. You can get that over the little tab, just like on the steering arm. And you can take the little piece. It's got little teeth cut in there. Can't really see it very well on the camera. At least I can't. That goes on there. You take the little arm. It goes on there so that the little notches sticking out the sides, if you can see that, line up with the furthest one. I gotta watch the camera more than what I'm doing. The furthest one up there, so it sticks out the furthest it can. You need the little washer again, another one of those little plastic washers. And that screws together like that. Got all my screws laid out up here. And my Cow RC pit parts trays. Very handy to have. We'll start off using my little DeWalt screwdriver. Works awesome. Doesn't work very good for starting the screws though. And you gotta hold everything by hand. And they even specify that on this end the screws need to go on the outside holes. And on the other end they go on the inside holes. Come on, get on there. Alright. There is the servo assembly. Got the shifting servo and the steering servo. The steering servo, we'll have to look at the picture a little more. It should mount so that this is the steering servo, this is the shift servo, and this up here would be the front of the truck. Now that we have that finished, we can move on to this cross member. This is the cross member that goes in the frame where the rear axles are mounted. And being that I am doing a 6x6, it's going to need to sit a little bit taller since the front end will sit taller due to it not having the drop two-wheel drive axle in there anymore, the drop center axle. I'll get these trimmed up, and we've got to cut these off since they will not be in the correct place anymore. They will actually be sticking out the top if you leave them on there. What I do is just use some body scissors and cut them off. Takes a little effort. There's one cut off. And I have to say a huge thank you to all my subscribers. We just hit 400,000 views yesterday and 5,700 subscribers. Once you get those cut off, you can trim them down with a hobby knife or X-Acto knife or whatever you happen to call them where you're from. This part's a little difficult unless you got a sharp blade, and I'm pretty sure mine needs to be replaced. Couldn't find my good knife. It's somewhere in the mess on the table. Doesn't look messy over here, but it's messy over there. So we'll get this trimmed up and put together, and we'll come back and show you how the frame starts to go together.